Okay, now that we've learned about George Rodrigue and his blue dogs that he painted, it's time for us to create a blue dog of our own. So, I need you to get your papers and your pencils. Papers need to be going tall portrait, because we are doing a portrait of our pooch here. Portraits don't just have to be of people, portraits can be of animals as well. So we're going to be doing Blue Dog's portrait. So get your paper and your pencils and let's begin. Now we are going to draw Blue Dog really big. He takes up my entire sheet of paper, doesn't he? Okay, so let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to draw his snout. Okay, so to draw that, watch, I'm going to start here in the middle and I'm going to come out and curve around and then back in. Okay, so it's kind of look like the bottom of a Hershey Kiss. Okay, kind of looks like the bottom of a Hershey Kiss. I come out, curve around, and then back in. Looks like the bottom of a Hershey Kiss without the top. So that goes right in the middle of your paper. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to draw his head. So we're going to be making a circle that goes from one side to the other, really big. Okay, so I'm going to start here on the side of his snout and I'm going to draw a big circle up and around. And right now it kind of looks like a duck, doesn't it? But we'll fix that. And he's going to look like Blue Dog in just a second. So draw your circle and then we're going to move on to our next step. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is add the stripe here in the middle of his forehead. So I'm going to start here and I'm going to curve up and back. So it's like a skinny upside down letter U. Curve up and back down. Okay, and then on either side, we're going to draw two circle eyes. And Blue Dog is going to have yellow eyes. Yellow eyes, just like he did in George Rodrigue's paintings. Yellow eyes and blue fur. And so far, it's not looking like Blue Dog yet, but I promise the more we go, the more we do, the better it's going to look. Okay, down here at the bottom of his snout, we're going to start with a little frowny face. And then above it, we're going to draw a little rectangle nose. He's starting to look like a dog now, isn't he? He's starting to look like Blue Dog. So we've got his snout, his rectangle nose, little frowny face, mouth, two eyes with his pupils, and then we drew the circle of his head. Okay, now we need to add his ears. So up here in the corner, we're going to curve up to a point and then curve back down to his head. So watch. I curve out and up. And then from a point, I curve back down to his head. Okay? Watch again. I curve out like a rainbow. And then I curve back in like a smiley face. Oh, and this one I didn't do a good job of getting it. This one should have come down there. So again, if you make a mistake, you can always erase. I'm using a Sharpie, so I can't erase there. But that one should have come down on his head a little bit further because that ear right there just doesn't look good. So again, turn a mistake into a masterpiece. It's fine if we make a mistake. You guys have an eraser. I'm using a Sharpie, so I can't erase, which is why we always draw with a pencil. If you try to draw with a crayon or a marker, it doesn't erase, but pencils will. Okay, now we need to do the inside of his ear. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to draw that same shape on the inside of each ear. Now I'm just going to pretend that line doesn't exist. Okay, so we have Blue Dog's head finished, and he's starting to look like Blue Dog, isn't he? Okay, so now we're going to draw the front of his body. Okay, so let's take a look at the lines that we're going to be drawing, okay? So we're going to start over here on this side and see how it curves in, and then it curves out, and then it curves back in before we make our paw and curve back into our body. Okay, so watch this line again. You curve in, curve out, curve back in, and then we make the paw to come back up. Okay, so let's try that. We're going to curve in, curve out, curve in. Let's just do that part. In, out, in. And then we're going to curve down for the paw, come around, and then we curve back up into the body. And that's one paw. Now, does it have to look exactly like this? No, it doesn't have to look exactly like that. Just try your best. Okay, so same thing on this side. We curve in, out, in before we do the paw that curves back into the body, okay? So same lines, just going in the opposite direction. Curve in, out, in, and stop. And we kind of want these to match up a little bit. Okay, mine don't match up perfectly, but it's okay. It's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then I'm going to curve down and back around for his paw. And then it curves up and in for his front legs. And they're not exactly even, like this one. That bump is a little higher than that one. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be perfect. Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, now to do his back legs, okay, what we're going to do is from where this curves out, we're going to do another curve out, bring it in, and then curve back out, and then it curves back in. Okay, so it's kind of like a curvy letter V here. See the curvy letter V? Like a curvy letter V, and then back into his body. So I'm going to start here where it curves out. And I'm going to do another curve out and then in, like a rainbow. And then like another rainbow. I got that curvy V. And then I curve back up to his paw. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. We curve out and in, and then out again, that curvy letter V. So we're going to curve out and in like a rainbow. We'll bring this one in a little bit so I got room to do another one. Curvy letter V, and then I bring that back above this paw. And I made that paw really tiny, so I probably should have made that smaller and then gone out. So if yours are really small like mine, you can always go back and erase. I really can't because I'm drawing with a marker. And then the last thing we need to do is we need to draw the curve of his belly right there between his two front paws. And we have finished drawing Blue Dog. He is completely finished and he looks super cool, except he's not colored in yet. So finish drawing, and then I'm going to show you a few things before I let you color on your own. So finish drawing and get your markers and crayons. Okay, we are going to start with yellow, so get your yellow marker. And the only thing we're going to do yellow are his eyes, because Blue Dog has those yellow eyes. So outline his eyes, snap that cap, get your yellow crayon, and we're going to color in his eyes with our yellow crayon. And if you color over the little dot that you made in the center, that's okay, because we'll go back over that with a black marker. So color in his yellow eyes. And then put your yellow crayon up. And then you need a black marker. Okay, black marker. The only things that are black are the two little dots in the center, and you can just color those in with your marker because they're little. So use your black marker and color the two dots in the center of his eyes. And then you're going to outline his nose, his mouth, and then you're going to snap that cap. Get your black crayon and color in his nose. Put your black crayon up, and then we need our blue marker because we have to outline everything else in blue. So I'm going to start with his ears. I'm going to outline the outside and the inside. The inside of his ears stay white. Ends of his ears stay white. I'm going to outline around his head. Now remember, we're not coloring with a marker, we're just outlining. I'm going to outline around his mouth and nose and his white stripe. Now there's only 3 things about Blue Dog that stay white. the stripe and his nose and the inside of both ears, okay? And I'm also going to go around the outside of his eyes in blue because that's really going to make that yellow stand out if you outline blue around his eyes. And then I'm going to outline his body. Do all 4 paws. And his belly. And then when I'm done, I can set that cap. And then I need to get my blue crayon and I'm going to color everything in except for where his mouth and nose is and his stripe and the inside of his ears, okay? So while you guys are coloring, we're gonna watch another little video from the SciShow Kids about dogs, and we're going to learn some really cool facts about dogs. So you guys color and just listen to the video, and then at the end of the video I'll put the picture of Blue Dog back up so that you can see how to finish coloring him. Now remember, don't color in the inside of his ears or right here in the middle where his nose and mouth is, okay? Do not color those blue. Everything else is blue but his nose and mouth and his ears, okay? So have fun learning some cool things about dogs, and I hope you guys had fun learning about George Rodrigue and his blue dog. And until next time.